Hey, how you doing? This is Eric from AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, sponsored by VIP Execs Realty and Lending. All right, it's cranking the tunes. Happy Friday. Today's Friday highlights in the AMP Live Real Estate Show, helping fellow Americans throughout the United States of America with creative real estate and real estate in general. Had some cool calls today. We're going to go through the Erick report. Got a guest, a special guest going to come on. We're just going to talk about a few things that are going on in different states. And what's going on, the pulse of real estate in the United States of America. What are people doing? What are people doing? What type of deals are happening? What type of, fluctuation or influx of deals are happening or not happening, or what issues people are having to a degree, and what kind of maneuvers they're making, right? Because it's 2025, it's all fresh, and everybody's like, hey, I'm going to do this and do that. I see a lot of people trying to migrate to get their license, while a lot of people got out of the business with the licensing thing when National or NAR, whatever how you want to call it, National Association of Realtors, got involved with that big old class action bullshit lawsuit. And they're like, some are just like, I'm done with that. Forget that. It's all bullshit. And others are adapting, adjusting. And then the new ones really don't know about it, but they're getting into the business because they're like, maybe we're doing wholesaling for a while. And they're trying to make the move into maybe some fix and flip and buy and hold, creative real estate investing. Maybe they've jumped onto some programs where they spent $3 grand, 10 grand, 8 grand, 50 grand, and they're going, man, I'm still having issues, right? Or it didn't work out with whatever program they got into, with it. For example, like, oh, you know what? I couldn't get a hold of anybody. It was always email. The coaches never called me back, or stuff like that. Or got into a group with the blind leading the blind, and 30, 40, 50 people were in there, and I didn't get anything. I spent 3 hours of bullshit of not getting anything answered, right? But mostly, if you got the coaching thing going on, it's the coaches, not calling you back. And of course, they expect, whoever's on the marquee or whatever program it is, like, hey, that person's never going to call you. It's just not going to happen, right? So a lot of those things are happening right now with programs, which tarnishes, programs that are good like ours, right? Because we do have a program. It's called the American Mentee Program, AMP Live, AMP. What does that stand for? Well, the American Mentee Program, AMP, AMP, PMA, Positive Mental Attitude, right? No puns intended. That was done by design by God, right? I had somebody brought it to my attention a long time ago. What does AMP Live mean? What does AMP mean? Well, the American Mentee Program. And I'm always promoting PMA, Positive Mental Attitude, right? Positive Mental Attitude. They go, did you do that on purpose? I bet you Eric did that on purpose, right? PMA. AMP spelled backwards, PMA. I said, no, that's just came out that way, right? I mean, it's probably a subconscious thing, but it's always, acronyms, real estate. We always have acronyms. We're always messing with that. And not just me. It's like, just look at National Association of Realtors, right? NAR. They got, there's always acronyms for everything. NODs, notice the defaults. NOTs, notice the trustee sales. What else we got? Loans, they got, the numbers for stuff, 1003s and all kinds of stuff, right? For lending. But today is Friday. Welcome to Friday. I'm going to be your host today. We're probably going to put on a co-host here if this young man comes aboard, and let him speak and talk and pick my brain a little bit. There he is. Boom. Let's throw him on here. All right. Going to show the mug, man. You afraid? Don't be afraid, brother. Are you there? Well, you let me know, man. I'm going to put you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So let's do, let me see where we're at. Let's do this thing right here. Chop it up.
I'll probably show my mug in a little bit and stuff like that.
Got to do your hair and shit?
No, I'm just outside getting some fresh air and stuff like that.
That's all good.
Outside in the back and everything. Dude, the snow is crazy out here. It's crazy. It's beautiful though, but
how many feet you got?
By the end of the first night, it was about 2 feet. Literally, it was crazy. It was like about 2 feet, dude. Like people's cars couldn't move, dude. Everything was shut down, and then it was just like, wow, dude. I've never seen that much snow ever.
Really? How you get out the grocery stores? They're all packed, right? I think when storms come, they run to the grocery store and load up like shopping carts of shit out there, man.
Well, we were all getting warnings beforehand.
Yeah.
Before the storm was coming. And usually I hear they're really good and stuff with the those type of storms, like tornadoes or anything and stuff. in the snowstorm. So everybody did go out, and it was kind of crazy. There was a lot of people at all the stores buying a bunch of
Yep.
stuff.
I remember every time there'd be a storm or a thunderstorm or it's just gonna put a bunch of rain. Literally, man, you go in there and the whole shopping cart is filled with meat and side dishes and food and all kinds of milk and shit, man. Every fucking time, it's pretty crazy. Did you break out the coal and the carrot action?
Oh, for the
Yeah, with
snowman?
the
Yeah,
snowman,
we
bro.
were trying to do.
You're like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking
yeah.
about?
No, we were. No, I had to put two and two together and stuff. But I was like, no, we tried. We tried as
Oh,
hard as we
really?
tried. We tried building a fort too, but
Oh,
the
cool.
snow was so soft, dude.
Oh,
It's just like
wow.
so
That's
fresh
cool. Yeah.
that it's just like it took a while to pack it and keep packing it and keep packing it. We were just like, forget it. Let's just try to make a little igloo, and then the igloo kind of became into like a little
That's cool.
fort and stuff. And then we just had a little fire and stuff, and
Awesome.
watch watch the movie outside on the projector and stuff
Oh,
before it started
wow.
snowing. Before it started snowing again
Right. Oh,
later
wow.
that night. I was like, shit.
Any more storms coming?
From what the wife said, no, we're in the clear
Oh,
now. So everything's melting. I see everything melting pretty fast.
yeah.
And yeah, we could get back to doing what we gotta do, man. You know, I'm happy.
See how it goes, though, right? Because winter's pretty crazy out there. And shit comes and goes, man. Look at the fires, man. We had about the Santa Ana winds. We get them,
Yeah,
but this time it
crazy,
was worse. There's
man.
like up to 100 miles per hour on these winds, man. And then it started going towards the city. So obviously, Palisades is gone, man. It was at 75% yesterday. Now it's all gone, fucking burnt to the ground. It's cruising into like Hollywood and fucking near the Playboy Mansion and shit. Then it was out in Pasadena, all over the fucking place, man. It's pretty sad. Had a friend associate that I work with went out there. I think I was mentioning that to you, man, to go help the firefighters, right? Because them cats, they've been awake for 2 or 3 days, right? Probably exhausted, man.
Yeah,
But he's taking them some water, some food, and bars and protein bars and stuff, man. I asked him today, how was it? What was going on? He goes, oh my God, it's freaking sad. It's insane. There's old people that are elderly and families and animals and dogs and shit. It's just, he said, it's like a freaking war zone, man. It's fucking sucks. But on that crazy note, man, it is what it is. And I think I was talking with associate last night, man, and he's all like, well, what about that? That storm that happened in, what was it, North Carolina or something, right?
mm-hmm.
And the flood and stuff, right? And there's
Yeah,
literally some of these people, well, contractors go out there because they want to get business, right? And then there's actually, he goes, yeah, I got an investor friend who actually went out there and built a little team, and they're door knocking and making offers to all the properties that were flooded, man, and try
shit.
to buy those properties. So, and then I think you said that, or maybe it was, I don't know, someone said something. Because I bet you that's going to happen here, man. And then
Yeah,
I got a quote or something. I think it was on X, right? Because they got a bunch of news and stuff. And I started looking. It said Newsom is filing for that land to be rezoned as R3 instead of single family R1, to rezone it R3 so you can put apartment buildings and shit on there.
to the same fucking. Excuse my French, but for the same land that just burned up.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I heard they were filing for that to rezone it, man. And so it's not even like there's still shit burning out there, and it's not even like fresh, and and they already rezoned it. So then people, how that goes, right? Oh, this is bullshit. We're something smells fishy. Besides the little smelt fish that they're trying to fucking protect. Remember that? We're talking.
Yeah,
That's fucking crazy, man. Insane. I can't believe it. But that's the way it is, man. You got to drain the swamp, brother. So that's part of the process there. But that's pretty sad. It sucks, but it does happen, man. I mean, I've dealt with a fire property before, last cycle, and we're going in, buying it, going to buy it subject to existing financing. Gave them a couple, walked it and everything, and they're going to get insurance money. So we went subject to existing financing, gave them a couple of bucks because they're living with their family and they wanted to move out into their own house. So we gave them enough money to do that, to do like a rental type thing and have a couple of bucks and sign off on it. Then we're to take it over. And then the money that was coming, they said, look, we don't want the money. I'm not going to fix it. Ain't nothing's going to happen. I said, well, we want to use that insurance money so we can fix the property, right? And then, of course, they already did the numbers. They go, well, we can take the money, but we're not going to have enough money to finish it, right? We don't got cash to finish it, but we did. And so that was one way. So that's kind of what's going to probably happen. When I was talking with Clive yesterday or last night, is that's probably what that his friend's doing, right? Make those offers. Hey, what do you want to do? They'll probably get 80. I don't know what it is now, 80% from the insurance of whatever the house is to rebuild or to fix, and they'll get that check and they can skedaddle and split. And then they got a piece of property they can sign over to an investor and say, hey, I'll take that property. But then they got to finish. They got to actually, put the money to build it, right? Unless you work something else where you can get some of those checks to help out with the building of the property and then cashing out the seller, right? So that's going to be like a land. People are already talking about it, land grab, and fucking California, right, and stuff like that. And so same token, I know you smell it, but you really don't think about it, right? Like, I don't want to go do that, man. It's pretty sad about what's happening, but at the same token, someone's going to do it, right? So if you can get property and run ads and stuff and or whatever, it's just not to sound like you're doing the ambulance chasing stuff, right? But hey, and there's a bunch of money out there, right? So they're probably going to fix it up anyways, right? You would think, hey, I want my pad back, I love it here, and they're going to rebuild, don't you think? What do you think?
Honestly, I think, I mean, from what I've seen, most of the houses that they've put online or like on social media or on television have been the
Yeah,
millionaires' houses, the actors, and all
yeah,
that. Okay, so we have to look at it like this. There's some places that we're in an upper class area, some middle
mhm,
class areas and stuff like that. So some will not be able to fully, have the money to reestablish themselves and rebuild and stuff. Some of them
yeah,
will, and I feel like that's where, um, it's where,
mhm,
honestly, I don't want to say it like this, but I have to be straight
yeah,
up. It's where kind of like the strong's gonna survive. Okay, the ones that can make it happen will make it happen. The other ones, I mean, they stand to make some money. They can sell their land and stuff. They can keep their land. They can try to rebuild and do what they have to do and stuff like that. There's a lot of different scenarios, I think, that are on the table for that area, man. Because I've been thinking about like, okay, so what's gonna happen
yeah.
now? Because all that stuff got burnt down, all those stores,
Oh
all
yeah,
those
all the
things,
commercial
dude. I was
stuff
like,
too,
holy,
man.
all those
Yep.
stores and shit and stuff. So I'm thinking like, I mean, if I was able, honestly, like you said, if I was able to, and like us can do it right now, exactly buy that whole huge plaza, those two plazas right next to each other and stuff that weren't doing so well and stuff, because some little plazas and food
Yeah.
areas and stuff like those little shopping centers were heading downhill already.
Right.
Obviously, that's where we can go in and we could rehabilitate it, like change it up. We could put new apartments and stuff, we could uh put new stores and stuff, revamp it up and stuff like that. So it kind of all depends on how people are looking at the situation. I see the bad and the good of
Right.
it, and
Yeah,
everything.
that's true.
So i I know that there's opportunity there,
Yeah,
man,
it's always an
and
opportunity in
we have
all
to
those
take that.
locations and that
We
can
have to
happen.
take that opportunity no matter what it is, because like you said earlier, somebody's got to do it, somebody's going to
Somebody
do it.
is. I guarantee it. They're either going to rebuild
Yeah.
themselves or they're going to say, I'm frustrated, I'm done, just give me money and I'm gone. And it's no different than the
Yeah,
pre-foreclosures. It's no
exactly.
different when we come across a distressed property where, hey, you know what? I don't have the money to fix it up. I don't want to work
Right.
with an agent. Just give me the cash and be done, right? And you take care of the problem.
Yeah.
And that's that's
Hmm.
part of real estate investing, right? It's part of looking for those opportunities, regardless of the
Yeah, and
situation
that's
that
exactly
happens.
what we
So
do.
I,
Yeah, and that's exactly what we
I
do.
got you.
We try to help people out of those type of situations, man. Like that's a bad situation,
I
Eric.
know.
It is. Like I
It is very
said, I'm not trying to have people feel some type of way by what I'm saying, but some will. The ones that are strong and have it will survive and be able to
yeah,
rebuild. The ones that don't are the ones we are here to help. The ones that need to be able to get out and
yeah,
sell their land and stuff
yeah,
like that, or figure something else out and stuff. There's options that are going to be
correct.
available and stuff, and that's where there's opportunity for them to get the help that they need. It's not just opportunity on our end, it's opportunity all around for them as well to get a better, how could I say, get into a better situation than the one that they're in currently right now from what has happened, you
Right.
know? And we're just all about helping, man, you know? And I see that that's what it's time to do, is help more Americans, especially in that type of situation that's going on. It's sad, but you know, I'm glad that there's people like us and companies like us that like we're understanding and we're here to help others, you know, and give them
For
options.
sure, man, because at the end of the day, there are bad investors that make everybody else, look bad, and those are the ones that just take the deed or they don't disclose. They're not, being clear. They're not being black and white about stuff that they're doing, and that does mess it up for others, right? And that's why, unfortunately, that's why the government and other agencies step in, right? Oh, we got to regulate, got to regulate, got to regulate. But we're a self-governing country, man, right? Most human beings are honest. 97% of them. Maybe 1 to 3% are unscrupulous, and those are the ones that mess it up for the rest of the 97%. So it's just doing the right thing and crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and hey, if it's a good fit and they need help and it makes sense, great. It's or it can help them. Done that before. Hey, we'll just help you out. You know what? It's not going to work out for us on our end. Maybe they want too much money, or just the deal's just not right, and it makes no sense to take on something where you're going to lose money, right? So you're like, hey, no problem. I can help you out. I can list the property. I can go ahead and maybe point you in another direction where someone else I know who likes this stuff, right? Who can work on smaller margins or whatever, right? Now I've done that before. You just pass up a deal, right? Move on it. Let somebody else do it, or help out the the seller, investor, buyer, and all that good stuff. So I mean, that's just my my 2 cents on how we do things, and that, and myself, and it's
Yeah.
just the best way to
Hmm.
be, man. Just move on, live to fight another day, and if we can help them, great. If not,
Yeah.
pass on the situation. But yeah, just opened it up a little bit, man. Friday highlights, helping fellow Americans across the United States of America. I do the little Amp Live real estate show, Pulse of Real Estate, what's going on. Obviously, we're getting into that a little bit and talking what's going on in California, what's going on in Missouri and the Midwest. Florida's doing some, there's some crazy shit in Florida too. Like, they had those storms and stuff, right? So guess what? I thought about that too, right? Guess what? Probably people are probably hunking and chunking and going where? Heading out to Florida when those storms happen, right? To do what? Do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're going to talk to all the sellers. They're going to door knock. They're going to call. They're going to do, hey, I'm interested in buying your property, and how can you work out a deal? And that just happens everywhere. So it happens specifically. I know for a fact it happens with a lot of construction companies. They'll take off, man, and phew, they'll go down there and do their rehabs and roofs and all that bullshit. This is part of the business. But real estate is a little bit different, right? And jumping down there, can you imagine doing that, right? And going out there and building a team, you get some properties, and that's one way of doing whatever you're doing there. So I started thinking about that as well. And right here, it's in our own backyard because we don't get too much, right? I mean, we get the fires all the time. Now, look what happened with Paradise. Remember that? I won't even get into that with the lasers and all that good stuff. And people were saying just like Hawaii got all burned up, And then who was buying up all the property? I think there was The Rock and Oprah Winfrey, right? You remember that in Hawaii? Did I lose you? Hello.
Oh, I'm right here.
Okay.
I said, yeah. Sorry, it was
Yeah.
cutting out just a little bit, but yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and that's on the news, right? They're literally buying up property down there in Hawaii, man, because it's all decimated and destroyed and shit, right? You don't hear about the other investors. It is what it is. Business is business, man, and you got to do what you got to do. So that could be some good opportunities there in Los Angeles, and that's why I was tripping out because my friend associate that went out there, he's doing some investing stuff too. Like, I'm like, okay, that's cool. What does it look like? What's going on, right? But yeah, apartment buildings, the commercial stuff, all those big ass houses. You're right. All the big houses they're showing, $15 million, $25 million houses, man. I think that James Wood guy and who's the other one who did Great Balls of Fire? I think he was on the news last night. I forgot his name. Fuck, I don't know. But his house freaking, I guess, burnt down. And did you hear about Mel Gibson's house, man? His house got burnt down while he was on the road Joe Rogan show.
Yeah, and then also Harrison Ford's.
What? His too?
Yeah, Harrison Ford's.
Man. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. So, people are gonna say, hey, it was an act of God. God's taking down Hollywood. Others are saying, well, hey, it's just for more funding and a bunch of shit. Others are saying California dropped the ball, the government dropped the ball, Newsom dropped the ball, the mayor dropped the ball, all them sons of bitches, the fire, the
And
fire.
then and
What,
then
what,
there's people saying
what?
that it's them trying to cover up a ton of evidence and all
Uh,
that type of stuff that has happened in the entertainment industry that is actually supposed to be coming to light recently more because of the Epstein and now it's like with the Diddy situation. So a
oh
lot
yeah,
of stuff on social
yeah.
media is really pointing more to where they're burning up evidence and just kind of like trying to make everything a distraction in a way, you know.
Are you
So
talking about the tunnels where it goes like supposedly supposed to be tunnels from the Playboy Mansion to the
yeah,
Getty
the
to all these
Playboys to
different
Diddy's
houses for
house and to
cars and
all the
stuff?
other places. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. You never know, man. I guess you'll see in the rubble because if there's tunnels, it's going to be easier to see. You would think, right? Unless they go in and and what's the word I'm looking for? Clean up, right? So I heard some places were cleaning up. It was in regards to like some plastic or something. I don't know. They're in there cleaning up and they're making sure there was no reporters and people watching and shit, right? But yeah, that's insane, man. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's crazy. And you never know, man. It's freaking Hollywood. I think they even showed. Did the Hollywood sign burn down or no?
No, actually, that really actually didn't happen.
Okay, so that was
That was
fake
AI. So we
news, huh?
have to be careful nowadays. We have to remember a lot of people they will grab something that's actually truly going on and they
Yeah,
will put it into Chat GBT or some type of new AI generating
yeah,
system and software and put in some prompts and stuff and then
yeah,
now they got what they want to try to deceive the world. And that's what's kind of what's messing up whole situation right now because there's stuff that's on social media that's true and then there's stuff that isn't true because people want to fabricate some stuff and it's crazy, it's crazy to see what's going on and stuff like that out there and everything, but
yeah.
like I should be in Florida next month and stuff for a week or maybe like at
Cool.
least 5 days
Oh
and
wow.
stuff in Orlando
Hmm.
um and everything. So I mean, being out there and stuff, I kind of want to see the damage and stuff that was done and everything, in that area because I mean, I'm from California too. When I
Yeah.
go back to California, I'm gonna go see how the damage was done and everything, and it's just crazy to see what happened, man. To all these places and stuff, like all these places and stuff. What's going on? It's crazy.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of devastation going on. But people kind of expected that, or at least people that have been doing the research and stuff, right? Especially with the new transition of presidency and administration and all that good stuff, right? So, yeah, conspiracies are not really conspiracies anymore because they've been like been proven of stuff that was said and now done, right? So that's kind of crazy, man. We're saying, oh, it's not. I don't believe in coincidences either, man. Things happen for a reason. And it is what it is, man. You start digging deep, and you just follow the money. You do your research. You can't believe all the crap on the news, just like you said, the AI shit. Because I saw something. It was the Hollywood sign, and there's like fire behind it. I go, that don't look real. It doesn't look right. But
Right.
and so, but I didn't hear anything about it. Just said it was near the Hollywood sign. So how that shit goes. But you're right, man. AI is crazy. Even Elon Musk talking about how powerful it is, how dangerous it is, and all that good shit, and these regulation and oversight and all that good stuff. But it does. Hey, there's good and bad and everything, right? That's just the way it is, man. So same thing with real estate, right? Good and bad in real estate. People taking the deeds and ripping people off or doing this and that, all kinds of stuff, or fucking, I think that one that I was telling you in Chula Vista, remember the NOD? We're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
scrap that one. Yeah, scrap that one because something happened with the boyfriend and the girlfriend and didn't tell each other that someone did this and did that and then wants to try to squeeze one out of the other out. One was supposed to make the payments, didn't make, and this NOD stuff. And so it's like a big ass mess. So, but it doesn't mean we can't, give them a call, still pull a phone for some phone information. But at the same token, it sounds like the guy's in charge, and the guy's like, remember I was telling you some details on the entrepreneur stuff and having issues, and probably, how that goes, right? We're going to be very stubborn, and usually people like that, you can't work a deal, right? they're their own worst enemies, shoot themselves in the foot, right? So it may or may not happen that way. But we'll go ahead and pull the information with the telephone number, try to see if we work. We never know, right? We don't know what the personality is. We don't know the full story. I was just getting it from someone who said, hey, this is what's happening, and they're related, and they're having a chit chat, and here's the lowdown. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. No problem. Thanks. Appreciate it. And they get anything else, they can send it to us. But check out those other two as well. And since there's some more NODs, notice defaults, pre-foreclosures, we'll give them a call so we can get some submissions. And then I know you got some stuff rock and rolling Saturday. So Saturday, we're going to be doing some calls and things of that nature. You want to tap in for a little bit, come in, come out. That's cool. We can do that. And we do a little Saturday training. But as far as anything else, you hearing anything else going out there? I know people are trying to make, this is a thing I was talking about earlier in regards to real estate, is that agents, or I should say wholesalers, are wanting more now, right? Go, man, I want real estate. I want some buy and hold. I want some fix and flips. I want to learn this creative stuff. And they're thinking, I want to get a license. I want to get my real estate license. Because a lot of people got out of the business because of the National Association of Realtors, right? They were doing stuff, obviously they're like, oh, forget all this. This is bullshit. We got to disclose and this and that. Some got frustrated and quit, and then, during the current administration with stuff, people were quitting. But then I'm seeing that trend. And I think you mentioned that too. You had someone that you worked with out here in California. They're out in the Midwest now, and they're going, hey, I'm thinking about getting my license out there, right? Why not think about it? So it's almost the opposite, right? Got a real estate license. Why not? You should have real estate investing underneath your belt and understand how that works, because they're starting to come together. Before they're foes, right? They're like, hey, this is the enemy. The agents, if you're an investor, the agents are your enemy. If you're an agent, then the investors are your enemy, right? So they're slowly kind of coming together, kind of like how internet was, man, the last cycle. And then coming out of the last cycle, it was just internet marketers, right? It's kind of like really incestuous, I guess is the word. And, they wouldn't want to let you blast real estate stuff to their, 30, 40 or 100, $200,000 a list of people, right? In their emails, because they didn't want to think, oh, you're getting into real estate, you're selling out, right? What happened to the internet marketing stuff, right? And all their products and JVs and all that shit, right? But then eventually they started coming together after the crash. A lot of the investors went to the internet marketers and said, I need courses. Can you help me build a course so I could sell it online? And then they eventually started melting together. And that's just my 2 cents from seeing that. And now we're starting to see the agents and brokers are starting to come together only because of it is what it is, right? We need each other, really, at the end of the day. Investors help agents and agents can help investors. Not a big deal. It's all the same thing. They just get a little mad. Agents do, because it's like, well, I got my license and stuff, right? And I spent money and I studied. And then these wholesalers come in and don't have to get a license, and they don't have to fly under DRE. They don't have to fly under the MLS. They don't have to follow all these damn rules, right? And they can still make money, if not more money, right? So they get a little pissed off. But at the same token, don't you think that a real estate agent should know how to be an investor, or at least know how that game is played?
Yeah,
But they
100%.
don't, believe it or not, man. It's like 80-90%, man. Brokers don't know the jam, unless it's like a small amount of brokers. You would think a broker too, right? Hey, I'm a broker. Don't you think they would be investors too? Some of them try to. Some of them try to do it, but then it don't work out, or they'll have a couple of properties here and there. But it's not like it's not like a full stream of income for them, right? It's the brokerage thing. They get sucked up in the brokerage and working for the agents and stuff, right? But you would think that. And then the old dogs are like, you can't do that. That's against the rules and the laws of this and that, and blah, 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 blah. But yet the attorneys are able to say, yeah, you can, right? Because they live in that square box. Nothing wrong with that. But now they got to start expanding, right? Agents got to start expanding the horizon, man. And I know that you're going to be starting doing that. And there's some other people out there. So just put it out there. If you're looking to become an agent, definitely reach out and help you out. Or if, you already you're at a brokerage and could be one of the main ones, or mom and pop, and you're not getting the love you need and the training you need, along with the creative real estate or just real estate investing in general, then definitely we're looking for good people. It is a selection process. Same thing for our AHA, American South Americans, and AMP Live, the American Mentee Program. That is a selection process as well. You can scan that QR code. I don't know which one's up, but I'm just going to go ahead and pop that in real quick. That's for lock in your spot. That's actually a 90-day coaching program with interactive mentoring. It's a little bit different. But I like to do this Friday highlights. Sometimes it's we're out at beautiful Southern California somewhere, right? So even then, I'd probably tap you in, right? Do the Facebook thing and go through it. But what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Any trends out there as far as like in the Midwest, as far as properties, multifamily, commercial? Excuse me. I know there's the outskirts, and then you're like there's Kansas City. Either I know Ohio's pretty doing some crazy stuff. Cincinnati and all those places. The places are still moving, but I'm hearing more and more crime is popping out of those places, right? Which is I wouldn't want to buy properties where there's a lot of crime, right? But it's happening, man. But let's see if that gets under control, right, with the new administration, and they start, correcting that shit, right? Because it was a pretty big free for all grab where people were just smashing stores and stealing shit, man. That was pretty crazy. And I think there was something I was here in California said, yeah, no longer doing that. They actually put it in their stores, so you will be arrested.
That's crazy.
Serious, yeah, because I think it was 500-600. If it's over 500-600, you can get in trouble. And I'm not sure what the limit was, but in California, New York, they're fucking doing that shit. I know they're closing down stores in California, man, Southern California, because they couldn't stay open. Northern California too, man. The big ass, those expensive stores. Fuck, I can't even think about it right now. But they're getting shut down.
Macy's,
Yeah.
Sears,
Yep.
JC Penney's, Big Lots, uh, where else? Kmart got shut down.
Yep.
Uh, all them.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So things are going to be changing a little bit, and obviously we are where we are. I was going to talk a little bit about cycles and trends now, man. Cycles and trends in regards to going back, let's say, to 2003 all the way to where we are now, and then we got what 2028, 29, 2030. Now, if you look at these cycles and trends, if you look, there's usually what 10, 15 years, maybe 20, 25. They fluctuate. And then in between there's like little micro bursts, that and drops that happen depending on the economic cycle. The last one where we hit bottom was 2010, 11, 12, and 13, right? That was the bottom. And especially in California. I'll give you an example. Like in San Bernardino, properties would be $300,000-400,000. When it dropped all the way to like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for a freaking house, right? And that never happens. They usually are about maybe 5, 10, 15% over inflation. And so, if if the last cycle dropped to maybe 110, then maybe 130, 140. But these sons of bitches like went lower than they should have because of the economic crash in 2006, 7, and 8. So then we're going, okay, well, when was the crash before? It was in the late 90s. The late 90s, right? So you figure the late 90s as things were kind of taking a shit and they dropped out for a while and then started emerging 2000, 2003, 4, 5, 6, and then some crazy shit happened. They fucked up, of course, right? The government. And then boom, a couple years, putter in there. 2008 was dead. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. People started buying shit again, right? Because it was fucking rock bottom. The investors did. So give me your 2 cents and let me think. And you can guess. It's cool, man. Right? But I do have an Erick report. If anybody wants it, you just DM me. I'll give you the lowdown on what I think. Like my dad always used to say, right? Opinions are like assholes and everybody has one. It's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. But I like to check out, from the 1800s to the 1900s. Look at those cycles. Look at other people's projections and then figure out what's going on. And of course, you got to throw in a little bit of your own mix in there, right? Or what's going on with the economic situation, the administration, what's going on? People talking about crypto and all this crazy stuff, right? What's really going to happen? When do you think, and not to put doom and gloom on it, because obviously properties are going up. They're going to continue to go up, go up, go up, go up. And then eventually, like every cycle, right? It's like a wave, bro. It's going to start shifting, changing, dropping, and then eventually crash. When do you think that's going to happen? Based on what you're seeing?
I think it's gonna happen kind of lightweight fairly soon, to be honest. I think it's gonna happen sooner So I mean, I say maybe what within the next 2-3 years, I think it might happen. I mean, look, everything that's kind of going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's going good. It's not going bad, but it's just like I'm feeling it's gonna be coming soon. I mean, especially with like a lot of these properties all over the
Yeah,
place getting damaged and issues and stuff like that.
right.
Is
Yeah,
bringing value down. It's
yeah, they're working.
bringing, it's working itself down and stuff, and it's gonna drop to where you're gonna be able to get them pennies on a dollar again.
Yeah, no, that's a good what do you call it, man? A good analogy or a good analysis of why things can happen. I'll put this back up here. We got V. All right, down there. Okay. So, and you're right. It's about understanding the cycles and trends. Mine, I'm thinking too, yeah, maybe, 2028, 29, 30. Things start cruising down, filtering, and it might be 29 to 30, 31, where we hit, or maybe 30, 31, 32, where we actually hit our rock bottom. So you should have two things, right? One is either a ton of freaking money if you can get it, or understanding creative real estate investing and having that in your arsenal, having your network rocking and rolling, right? So you can do what? Pick up those things, man. Pick up those deals, right? Or at least be able to pick them up, cherry pick, sell them off, keep the good ones if you can. And if you got the money and if you got both, you're going to be golden, right? Because you're going to be able to pick up tons of shit and you got the money to pick up tons of shit. And that's pretty much retirement, man, for you, and it could be done. I have one guy from the last cycle. His name was Razzo. He owns an insurance company, a mortgage company, all kinds of shit. The cycle before, I think I might have told you this or shared this story with you, is he bought 150 houses, not this last cycle, but the cycle before. And then shit crashed, or he bought them all when they crashed, super cheap, 40, 50, 60,000 bucks. Then they all went up to 200,000, 300,000 bucks, right? He ended up selling 100, paid off 50, got his mortgage company going, house and family and all that good stuff. And then, of course, what happens 2006 and 7 again? Crash.
Boom.
So he starts buying. I try to get him to go to Palmdale, Lancaster, say, man, let me be your guy. Now I want to stay over here in the Corona area, right? Corona kind of area, Inland Empire. And properties, sure enough, right? Because it was Victorville, which is San Bernardino, and then you got Riverside, and you got Orange County, and you got Los Angeles, and Los Angeles has the other side of the high desert, which is Palmdale, Lancaster, which is where I was at. He was over here in the Inland Empire. What did he start doing? Where did properties go back to? 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 again. Fucker started buying up more property again, scooping them up. He's going to do it again. And he was young enough to roll through 2 cycles, man, to make that shit happen. So he's like at the right place, right time. I was lucky enough to like chat with him and talk with him and work with him and have his direct freaking number, right? Directly to him. And it was kind of funny, right? Because you're trying to find mentors and find people to work with you and for you and all that good stuff, man. And I remember one time I made a phone call, and by accident, even now I have my phone, but for some reason it goes to private on my private number, right? It goes private. I didn't do it. And every time I reset it, it goes back, reset it, goes back. I end up calling him, and it was a private number. Comes up. And he answered the phone because he asked me to call him at this point, this time. So I did, but he must have forgot. And, because you talk about, hey, what's going on with the kids, going swimming? Yeah, we're going to go camping and all this shit, this regular chit chat, which was cool. And, but I just want to learn from him, man. And he got pissed off, man. He's like, Eric, don't you ever call me from a private phone again, okay? I said, why? What do you mean? I didn't do that. What do you mean private? It shouldn't be private. It's private. I'm expecting a call, and I don't pick up calls, and the only person who calls this phone with the private number is my business associate. That means it's important. They call, I got to pick up. So I'm like, fuck, what the fuck does that mean, right? It's his money guy. So like, shit, man. So, like, I don't know. You start thinking, right? Like, what the fuck? What was it? I know it's a lot of money, and you start thinking, conspiracy things, right? Like, what's this guy connected to, right? But it was funny, man. People are different, and I get it, and I respect it. I said, I'm so sorry, no problem. I'll make sure I put my number on there or switch it back so you can see it. I apologize, and I hung up the phone, man, right? And I was like, hey. Then after that, we talked again. Hey, no problem, man. Don't take it personal. It's just it's super fucking important. I have to pick up them calls. When they fucking call, I got to pick up, right? That type of shit. And it just, I picked up and I thought it was them. I said, well, hey, but it was pretty trippy, man. It fucking rattled me a little bit, like, oh, fuck. What did I do? I fuck up. But that's just part of the jam, right? People are different, man. People with money, no money, this and that, how they run their business. Everybody's a little bit different. Some are alphas, some are like, kind of cool, and others are like laid back, and some are really fucking intense. You know what I mean? Everybody has their flavor, right? But I thought it was cool, man. He did his thing. He's still doing his shit, still has all his stuff. He's still out in the Inland Empire, but you meet a lot of cool people in real estate. And that's the beautiful thing about that. But the same token, I put something up here that says Master Real Estate Strategies, right? That's right, man. I do call myself the SubtoMaster, man, because that's what I love. I love the Sub2 jam. It's not like Sub2 creative financing or Sub2, seller financing. That all comes with it. And I know the stuff that's out there right now, people are like, oh, go Sub2 on tight deals. I think someone tried to, the young man, someone I was talking to earlier, saying something about Sub2, but it was like one of those, tight ones, right? You go Sub2 and try to wrap and then do seller finance. But still, I think maybe it was one of those because I go, where's the money? I think it was 240 NOD, notice of default, about $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 behind in back payments, right? It's worth ARV about $350, and then $60,000 to fix. Now just from those numbers, there's no deal really, right? And he goes, oh, but it's it's a small entry of like 15,000. 10, 15,000 or something. I said, well, that's fine, but you got to put 60,000 in it. You got to make up the $15,000, $20,000 in back payments. The interest rate's okay. Payment's okay. What's the rent? And what can you do with it? But after you put in the 60 grand, there's really no money to flip it. Can you buy and hold it and maybe seller finance to somebody? Yeah. But you're still buying a property that's, and believe it or not, in California, you believe that, right? 350,000, but it's way out in the boonies. Make sense? Did I lose you? Hello. Yeah, must have lost me. All right. We'll wait for him to come on back. Let's do this. Did we lose you? Okay. But so scan that QR code if you want to book some time with me and my team. Including, Victor's involved, others are involved, turn you on to Miss Elizabeth, broker, VIP Execs Realty and Lending. So obviously, you should have some type of creative real estate or real estate investing in your arsenal. You're in real estate, so why wouldn't you, right? But I get it. There's a lot of programs out there that, there are videos and PDFs and Facebook groups, and I've heard of all kinds of them. I get it. Sometimes the coaches don't show up, or they do show up and it's like, well, I didn't learn anything. There's no direction, and you're watching tons of videos and spending a bunch of time and spinning your wheels, reading all the PDFs and all that good stuff. So there's nothing like mentoring. So that's basically what we do with AMP Live, the American Mentee Program. That's what it was built for, is one-on-one mentoring. So it's only for you or others that are ready for it, right? Meaning you've moved forward, maybe you've been beat up in the industry and you need some help, and there's some missing pieces of the puzzle and you need help with that. That's how that basically works. That's what we're offering for January. Take advantage of it. It's still like, I believe, 42% off. We're talking to a lot of people right now. We got some other little programs that for the, maybe the newbies and tire kickers and things of that nature. Or you're just like, man, we want to be able to pay it forward as well and help others. But at the end of the day, remember, nothing is free. But I know that there's some things that we can do to help you. Going, man, look, I just need a little bit of help. Like I think we were talking earlier with an experienced person. They've been doing it for a while, but just kind of spinning the wheels, up and down, up and down. There's like spaces in between where, they keep changing and changing and pivoting and changing, and then trying to figure out, well, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. My advice is stick with the one. Stick with the one vertical, master the vertical. Yes, you're probably going to go through some downtimes here and there, but eventually you can't collect enough data in just 30 days or 2 weeks, right? Usually like, other businesses I know, and we do, you go and look at it, go, what's happening? What's happening for the last 6 months and 12 months? And then the second year, you can go back and see, well, what was fluctuating, where and when and why? Why are NODs working now? And now, 2-3 weeks or a month later, it's not working. It's not that it's not working. Yeah, it depends on the cycles and seasons. Some people say, oh, no, real estate's always rolling. It is if you're rocking and rolling. But they're also adjusting to the season, right? Is it fall? Is it summer? Is it winter? In winter, you get some of your best deals, from November, December, and January. People want to sell. People want to move on. People want to have that money so they can, have a new year or maybe move. And they don't want to do it during the summer. They don't want to do it during, fall, or was it spring and things of that nature, right? They just want to get it done. And then obviously spring comes in. So the market's a little shifty and it starts doing some different things. And yes, sellers can be difficult saying, no, that's what I want. I've been here all my life and I paid this and that. No one's going to take my house. And, they're going to have to come and pry it from my dead hands. And well, unfortunately, that's, the bank's going to take it if nobody comes in and or they don't reinstate the loan. And the same thing, whether it's probate, and, fix and flip, and, or I should say vacant properties, a good indication of when you're getting started and everybody says, well, go do the vacant properties, right? Go do out-of-state investors, go do the high equity out-of-state, properties. That's fine. But if you're brand new, you're going to get your ass beat because all those people are experienced investors. They own property. They're landlords. They're going to beat you up. And what you're looking for with that type of list, I get it. You're going to talk to a lot of people, but you're going to get very frustrated if you don't have someone working with you and mentoring and keeping you fired up. If you're just watching videos and then throw you into the pit of fire, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to go, man, I'm done with this shit, right? And then you'll come back because once you get started and you start looking at everything, you'll get addicted to real estate. You'll get addicted to the jam, the game, right? And going, man, I got to get this going. For some people, it's easy peasy. That means you found your home and you found a place. And others, it's a lot more difficult. And, it just depends on their mindset and where they're at and what they're doing. And, sometimes you just got to pivot, and I get it. Some people, hey, a lot of people will preach out there and say, well, if you're not good on the phone, find somebody else who's good on the phone. And I'm like, well, you got to learn it still. I mean, how are you going to know who's good and who's not? I'm going to put Victor back on here. You back?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool. So you can always book a call right there. Scan that QR code, and then we put up that other one right here. QR code. I was talking about where's it at? Register.
Yeah, my apologies. My internet was kind of acting up over here.
Oh, no problem.
You know how electronics work and Wi-Fi and stuff sometimes.
Yeah, they suck. Here we go. Put that right there. You can scan that QR code right there in the corner. Boom, boom. One-on-one mentoring. I'm going to put up this one here for be able to book some time right there. Chit chat. Pick my brain. Right? It's not like an attorney. You're going to pay, $150, $200, $300, $400, $500 to chat with somebody. And at the end of the day, it is a selection process. But the goal is to help you become a subject to or SubtoMaster if you want to be, or just a wholesale master, creative real estate master, a fix and flip master. Doesn't matter, because obviously we have enough experience to run it through the funnel, man. But I forgot what I was talking about. But anyways, maybe I remember and we'll jump back on track. But I'm glad to have.
I could say something. If I could just chime in and say, I can say this: you have helped me become a wholesaling master, a subject to master, and right now we're working on a fix and flip situation, and that's right there. We're mastering that with you. I'm just excited. I mean, come on, it's not just a one size or one style investment style strategy over here with us, man. I mean, whatever comes to the table, however we have to find a way to make it happen for everybody to do well and everything to go good.
Yeah,
that's what we do, And so, I mean, because every deal is not the same, and like certain things it's crazy because only certain courses out there may only teach you one thing, but you come across these properties that are a whole different jam, and you don't know what you're doing. then you just bypass it and leave it to somebody else. Now you're leaving money on the table. And over here at AHA and stuff, that's one thing I like. We we don't do that. And when I was a mentee with you guys in the beginning and stuff, you guys made sure of that. We never left any money on the table. We made sure we did what we had to do and
Right.
stuff. And that's why even after graduating the mentee program and stuff like that, I continued, kept moving forward, kept going, stuck with it with you guys because I mean I knew this was the way.
Right. No, I hear you, man. And I appreciate that. And that kind of brings me back to what I was saying. I finally remembered. I was talking about this young man. And sure, you're right. Is that, it's like a funnel, man. What you don't know is you don't know. But if you do know, when you have us working with us and you and others, right, that you may go, hey, you know what? This wholesale deal. But then after we underwrite it, I go, well, it smells like sub two, right? Maybe even, fix and flip sub two or sub two for buy and hold because maybe it's a little tighter, but there's still equity in it. And then it's like, well, okay, well, where is that at, right? And that's where you get to learn. Well, here, this is where we're structure it, a strategy, right, to figure out how to structure and exit strategies. I think is the most powerful. And I think over time, and I thank God for all that good stuff because it comes down the wire to say, look, what makes us different from anybody else, right? Why should we come work with you? Why should we join your program? Why is your program different, right? Because I know our program's better. I know our program and what we do, we care. Not that other people don't care, but nobody's willing to do this. Nobody wants to do it, right? And we've been doing it so long this way that it works for us in regards to working with somebody else, a one-on-one, because and you're bringing in somewhat experienced people, right? They're not like newbies out of the gate, although we do have something for January, right? That's going to be rolling. I think I might have discussed it with you and others, but that's for the coaching and stuff like that. But this one-on-one is what it takes to take you to a new level. Like we're talking with a young man today, Victor, and he's been doing it for a while. And he was talking about the spreads of time, right? Man, I'm doing these NODs and the marketing's going out. And then all of a sudden it starts trickling out and he's not getting as many deals. And then he tries another, well, let me do vacants. And then he does it for a while. Then it starts trickling out. And then he starts doing, high equity or, empty nesters. I go, well, that's cool, but you shouldn't shut down your marketing, right? So he does the marketing, shuts it down, then fires up a different marketing. When each one is an actual vertical, kind of sort of, it's like a sub-vertical. I like to call verticals marketing, right? Your text, your English voice message, postcards, direct mail, door knocking, surfing for deals, right? But you build one at a time, master it, throw in whatever you need in there to get it cooking, right? The recipe and seasoning and all that shit, right? And same thing for like text. Hey, you're buying data, you're going to run data, you're going to run campaigns, you're going to run NODs, but then you master it and going, okay, that's cool. Then let's run some vacants. Doesn't mean shut down NODs, just means add vacants, right? Then add your high equity. Then now you have several campaigns going, and now you're not going to have, and if the NOD starts slowing down, right? You got the vacants and other things. So that's the reason why he was having those sporadic times going on, right? I said, man, you can't do that, man. Just leave that shit going. Let it run. If you can't afford it, I get it.
Right.
But he was trying to figure out how that happens. That's basically how a lot of that stuff happens. But you got to keep rolling. You got to keep on, and what you don't know is what you don't know, right? I get it. That comes from experience. That's just a marketing thing. But marketing is important. Without
Yeah.
leads, you're dead in the water, right? You need leads. You got to talk to sellers. You got to get that momentum rolling. And I know that every time that I turn on the faucet, and you get into it and you start rocking and rolling, momentum happens. The universe does this stuff. It starts firing and beautiful things happen, right? And sometimes you just got to get out of your own head to make shit happen, right? And that's the thing about being an entrepreneur. You got to self-motivate, because there's not a cheering section, right, behind you 24 hours a day. So, for you, how have you
Right.
handled that? Because, but I think you've been an entrepreneur for most of your life, so that's a gift for you. Others who had a job or they have a job and they're used to a job, being an entrepreneur and going, man, I got to perform. I got to make money from nothing, right? I have to learn
Yes.
craft. I have to figure out how am I going to be the best at this so I can justify what I charge and what I get and what I want, right? So for you, what keeps you fired up and motivated?
I mean, what keeps me fired up and motivated, honestly, I could truly say it's just the thrill of it all. I mean, like when we first started and everything, and all the properties that I was evaluating, checking out, going to go view and everything like that. It was just so much. We were just going back to back to back to back. People were answering calls. We were going and stuff like that. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
during then, there was some that we didn't get under contract and some that I couldn't get under contract and stuff, or somebody beat me to them and stuff, or, whatever the case may be. Things happen in this industry at times, but I stayed focused and persistent, and then I knew that I was going to get one. And it's just like I kept visualizing it. I visualize it. That's like a motivation for me. That's what
Mm,
keeps me in the game. Is I just closed my eyes for a little bit and I could see it. And when I can see it, right, and I can manifest it in my mind, I know that if I push hard enough and I keep going, it will happen in real life. It'll happen in my reality. So
mm,
every time that I would I would not get one under contract. I was like, okay, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I can't give up, And then I got one, and then I was like, okay, I have to keep going. I have to keep going, and then after that, it's just like transitioning to being like doing the wholesaling and then doing one subject too. That was like it was a twist. It was out of nowhere, but in the back of my mind, I was manifesting it. I was thinking about it because I was like,
yeah.
how can I obtain a rental? I want a rental. I want to start having a bunch of rentals. Okay. And I thought about it once or twice, but in the back of my mind, I really didn't realize that I did. I manifested it and thought about it one time and visualized it. And then
Mm,
that was the motivation behind it all. And it just continues. And so it's the same thing. I want to continue to grow and expand. And it's like, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. And just knowing that it's going to continue to grow that's my motivation. I mean,
gotcha.
it's
No, it's
a whole
cool.
bunch of stuff combined, man. To be
Right.
honest.
And that yeah, and that's the difference between being an entrepreneur. People think it's easy, right? And it's not for everybody. And and there's the good, the bad, the ugly. The blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. But there is, I would say, a shortcut, right? And I don't like shortcuts because shortcuts are bullshit. But if you go in it and you're prepared, and some people say luck too, right? It takes a lot of luck. But the thing with luck is, yeah, we all gonna have luck. We all get opportunities of luck, but it's being prepared when that luck happens, right? Because if you're prepared for it, then and you're prepared for the luck that comes, then you see the opportunity, then things happen for you, right? It's when you're not
Yeah.
prepared for it, and things happen. You get lucky. You get lucky, and you get lucky, and okay, cool, cool, but then it disappears and dissipates, right? The difference. So I was reading a Dan Kennedy book. I think Mike Filsaime bought his company and stuff, right? But it's a revised version of his book, and it's pretty cool. And he was talking about that, and talking about luck, and talking about being prepared for luck. Does everybody need luck? Look, everybody gets a piece of luck. Everybody gets luck just that flows to them in the universe and life. But I think the most important thing is like, yeah, being prepared for it, understanding when opportunity is there, taking advantage of it and kicking ass and making it happen, right? Things are going to happen, right? That's life. It's going to go up and down, and keeping yourself motivated is one of those things, right? So I know for me, it's music, and it's reading, lots of reading and studying, and then even doing these lives and talking with you and doing deals with others, and solidifying what you're doing and having some type of meaning and why, right? Why you do things is motivation. You got to figure out what your why is too, right? Because everybody's doing it for a reason, right? I mean, you're not just doing this for the hell of it. You obviously doing it probably for your kids and your family and other things and personal reasons, right? I find that it's about legacy with the people I speak
Yes.
with, and it's about building that generational wealth. It's about having some freedom, even though some people go, man, this is harder than a job. I'm working harder than a job. I'm spending more time doing this shit than a job, right? Because you're learning a new craft. But that's the time you have to put in. You got to pay your dues. You got to pay that price, right? So you can do what? So you can have the freedom. Like me, I can, even if I'm working, even if I work 60, 80 hours a week, or even if I work 20 hours a week, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is I paid my dues, and that's the freedom that I get. If I don't want to go to work that day, if I got appointments, I got to do them. Otherwise, unless I just fucking say, fuck it, I'm canceling them all, and I don't talk to nobody. But that's my choice, right? At the end of the day. Or you can say no, but it's an obligation. So you go, no, I'm up 6 o'clock in the morning. All right, you can make a phone call, East Coast or some shit, right? It's just it's. I guess it's for me. It's just better than doing that. Boop, boop, boop. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
having it in your face and your fucking boss and shit, right? So if you're lucky enough to have the freedom to have gigs where you got freedom and you can do that stuff, then take advantage of that shit. And here's my shit for the young cats too, like you, because I know you're young, you're in your 30s or whatever, right? And there's people, hopefully they get to see this stuff, right? And then when they're in their 20s or even teens, right? It's okay to dream, do your stuff, follow through, and take advantage of that shit. You can go fast, but there's always a price to pay, right? And being prepared for that. And going fast is having a mentor, right? Having somebody who spent all those years and then you piggybacking off of those years of experience, right? And that is there's nothing wrong with going fast. You know, you can go fast and fail, go fast and fail. A lot of people say fail, so you can get to the good shit, right? And I get it. You know, not everything has to be all your ducks in a row, right? But there should be some ducks in a row. You should know the rules of the game, right? And that's why a lot of people who get in this business, they fail without mentorship because they're reading books, they're watching YouTube. You know, and you hear me say it all the time, brother, right? You know what's out there. And then hearing more and more with some of these programs that are out there, and then talking, it's coming back again, right? It comes in cycles again, right? Every 2-3 years, start hearing, hey, everything's rocking and rolling, everything's good. And then all of a sudden, programs start dropping the ball, right? With people. Oh, man, I'm trying to get a hold of a coach, and they never call me, right? I'm trying to get a hold of the guy who's on the marquee who says, you know, that's why I bought the program, but I can't ever talk to that person, right? Or I'm trying to do some deals, and it's email. And fuck, it takes them forever to get in touch with me or get back with me, and I end up losing deals. I think one guy said he bought into the program, had a couple of sub-2 deals, and then someone was supposed to call him and work with them, and he took too long and he lost them. That's money, right? That's money you're investing in a program, and then you turn around and lose money from the deals, right? And that's not cool. And that's one reason why I got in, 2010, 11, 12, and 13. Launched AHA, Americans Helping Americans, right? One America at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time. Doing our part to get America back on track. That's our jam. It's right back there somewhere. And then AMP Live several years later going, okay, we're going to train and mentor people. And AMP Live was born, right? The American Mentee Program. I think I was saying that. I think you brought that to my attention before. It's like, oh, Eric must have created that on purpose, right? AMP, American Mentee Program. And then you know how I promote. And I'm a big, it's all about the core of PMA, positive mental attitude. I said, fuck, it is, huh? AMP, American Mentee Program. And he flip it backwards and it's PMA. Like, fuck, that's God, brother. So I didn't do that. Or subconscious thing, right? Something in my subconscious must have made something happen, right? But I remember that shit and you brought it to my attention. I go, wow, that's pretty cool. But no, I didn't think about it. I didn't do that on purpose, man. It just came out that way. But I thought that was awesome. But that's the stuff that happens, right? Even with you and your business and things that you do. You know, you're prepared for them, so things start clicking. It feels like sometimes like it's magic, and then sometimes you feel like this, right? Boom, boom, boom. You hit the wall. What the fuck's going on? That's just God testing you. That's the universe testing you, right? Seeing if you're going to quit. Yeah. But, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I always call that like the universe. It's controlled chaos, man. It does what it does. Mother Nature is going to do what it's going to do, right? And Mother Nature and the universe is controlled to a degree. And all we can do is navigate through it, right? And you know this, man, the only thing you have control over is your thoughts and your mind. And I think that's the biggest part. That's what kicks people's ass. I mean, it kicks my ass sometimes, right? And this is what it is, man. So, keeping yourself fired up and motivated, super important. But I want to share this real quick. AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and AMP Live, the American Mentee Program. The only program of its kind. Scan that QR code right there to lock in your spot. I'm not sure what that is, if it's for 2024 or 2025. But 2024, every year it does go up. I believe I had a couple people yesterday. They're been watching for several years now and hanging out and this and that. And all of a sudden we connected and going, boom, they're ready to rock, right? And I think the proposal back then was several thousands of dollars less. So, yeah, I'm going to say, I'm not going to put any pricing on there, but if you scan that QR code, whatever it is, I believe it's still 48% off. And every year it goes up. It's a done with you, done for you program. And you're probably going, what the hell does that mean? Done with you is we're rocking and rolling, right, Victor? Even yourself, get involved, man. And we're chatting. We're doing submissions. We're talking with the sellers. We're negotiating. If the property is local, we're going valley to valley to, and we train on the art of walking the house, the art of the deal, AMP Live method, high trust selling with straight selling, and putting that together, and learning this stuff, right? Because it is a skill. It's also an art, man, I would say. Or would you call that science and art put together, or no? Or maybe I'm just like tripping.
No, I think it's a science and art put together.
Yeah. Because you've seen it work before, right? Well, obviously
Yeah.
it works in everyday life. You still do it, man. So that's like, I think you said sometime, like, man, you're getting involved. We're doing this. And, like when we talk with sellers, right? We're doing the psychology. We're talking to them, open-ended questions, tie downs, running through the 3 steps, the 3 magical questions, closing up the call, and then going to underwrite, coming back and setting up an appointment to chat with the seller, right? And then doing the art of walking the house. Or if we have to, and we can't obviously, go somewhere where it's out of state and stuff, right? Unless there's boots on the ground, then we got to work that deal on the phone, right? And if they're flexible, as long as the seller's flexible, we can work a deal, right? But then if you notice, there's science in between there, and then there is an art form. That's the sales part, right? That's the showmanship part, where people are going, hey, man, are you born a salesperson? No, right? We're all born, obviously, awesome, but you got to learn this stuff, right? And I think the best way to learn it is with the mentor and shadowing, because you learn faster. I think I was talking about earlier, right? Can you go fast? Can you cheat? Yes, it's with a mentor. Because instead of spinning your wheels for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, trying to become a creative real estate investor, right? I guarantee you, and I'll put my stamp on that. You'll save 3 to 5 years of bullshit, of the shiny objects, spinning your wheels, trying to figure out, oh, do I go this route? Do I do wholesale? How can I go there? And then you're going back and forth before you know you're doing the fucking robot and shit, right? And then eventually we'll say, fuck, I'm done. I'm getting out of the business. It didn't work out for me. And then you get the bug again and come on back, right? It happens until you're ready and prepared for that, man. But this is, I think what we're doing, helping our fellow Americans, man, it's a godsend. Take advantage of it. While myself and us and others are willing to, help others do that. And it is based off of, being in this country, man, being a patriot, being an American, being, a fellow American, and loving the country that we're in, and wanting to get back to made in America, get back to customer service, get back to helping each other, get back to, having some fucking, excuse my French, right? I know I'm saying some F-bombs here, right? But having some common courtesy, right? There's no reason to say F you in a text. There's no reason to get on the phone and act like an asshole, right? It just doesn't make sense to me, but I guess people do it, man. Maybe their etiquette and maybe their mindset is what it is, and the world's out to get them, and they just want to curl up in a ball and say F you to everybody. But I think thanks to these has made that a lot easier, right? Because you got information, you could connect faster and quicker. You got your keyboard warriors, right? Talking all kinds of madness and shit, right? Until they come to your face, then you got somebody with balls coming to your face and, hey, I respect that. Cool, no problem. Tell me why you're pissed, right? What did I do? You know what I mean? And then explain it to them. But I think the world hopefully will start changing and shifting. But it's a lot of people say, hey, you can't go backwards, right? Oh, that's never going to be like that again.
Right.
But I think I think it will, man. I mean, I think it can, because we're humans, man, right? We govern ourselves in this country, and we are the leaders of the world, man. At the end of the day, the country is, and people in it, and people come to America for a reason. They want that opportunity, right? They want to have that culture, even though they talk shit. Oh, America, they're crazy. Fuck that, this and that. But yet they want to come here and be American, right?
Right.
So, let me go ahead and put that back up in there. VIP Execs Realty and Lending. That's our sponsor, VIP Execs Realty and Lending. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up in a second. If you're interested in jumping aboard and becoming a real estate agent, or you're already an agent looking for a home and you want to have the best of both worlds, public and private, definitely look forward to bringing you aboard. It's a selection process. I'll turn you on to my broker, see if she's a good fit. You can have a chit chat with me, see if we're a good fit, and then boom, if you are, then we'll definitely onboard you and get you rocking and rolling. That's 2020. I might announce it today, but we're gonna do something kind of special, man. I'm not sure if I should or not, Well, maybe I'll just mention it, and then you can, give me some feedback live. I don't give a shit, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not worried about whether we can perform, worried about the hard cost, or whether hey, we go. I've been thinking about it. I went promos, and everything's one on one, right? It's been one on one forever. It's almost like, hey, go into marriage. A lot of internet marketers go, what? You're not doing the ladder approach? You don't got a $97, a $197, a $2,000, a $3,000. You're going like straight to marriage. Like you had go on a date and then, hey, will you marry me? Let's get married. Let's rock, right? And they just don't. But I know the value of what we do, right? Because I study the market, I look at everything, and I go, well, what worked for me back in the day, right? And what did I need back in the day? What am I seeing now? Right? What are people having issues with? Right? Build out my whole business and my websites and all this shit, and then nothing happens. Or you get a bunch of leads, but then you suck at taking all these leads and you shit can all that money, right? And all the leads and everything. Then they give up. Because everybody has different information, man. So I think having a mentor is super powerful. And it doesn't mean you can't do it without one. But I guess I didn't, right? I still had a couple, right? I got beat up for about 16, 18 months of building out my website, my other website, and rebranded twice. And then, what do I do when I take the calls? Do I need a script? Not need a script? Do I wing it? Shitting a brick when someone called back. Oh, fuck, what do I do? Right? And then putting processes and systems together and going, man, okay, that worked. Cool. Document. Run it back in your brain. What happened? I walked over here and I did this and I did that. I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have said this. I should have went this route and this route, did this when you leave in the house. I've done that before. I don't know if you have, but I know we have powwows when we first started out. It's like, hey, man, let's get in the car. Let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And how you can improve what transpired, right? And that stuff is powerful, man.
Yeah, it is.
Video and jump in your car and go, okay, I just went and negotiated a deal. If it went good, great. Then you want to reverse everything and go back and forth to figure out what happened and why did you do that and what transpired, and then rinse and repeat, right? Something goes wrong. Fuck, what happened? Where was that at? Are you going to recognize it? Unless you're like really tenacious and you're like, man, determined, you'll figure out what went wrong, and then you'll try something else. And then until you get something going, you start closing shit, right? That's what happened with me. And others are like, well, if you're not closing and you keep doing the same shit, or if you're not going back to see what went wrong, what are you going to do every time you go and try to close?
Right.
You're going to do the same shit and you're not going to close shit.
Exactly.
You're going to repeat the same
thing.
Shit you shouldn't have done unless you go back. And most people don't want to take the time, man. Right? They want that Staples button. Bam, give it to me right now. Bam, I want that cheeseburger. Bam, I want those chili cheese fries, right?
Right.
So, it doesn't work that way, man. But having a mentor changes that, and so that's a scan that QR code right there. Take advantage of that. If we're a good fit, we'll rock. I'm going to go ahead and move on to this next one here. And then anything on your mind, anything strikes some interest, anything that you can think of that you want to share?
Me? Yeah, dude, man, I do.
Anything.
You were breaking up a little bit. Say that last part.
Yeah, no, I said anything. Yeah, whatever you think you can share that can help people out, maybe getting started, tire kickers, or maybe you've been in the business, because I know people that have done deals and they lost money, made some money, or they're having that little, man, this is going good. Then all of a sudden they're having a roadblock and they don't know why. And they're going to do something they shouldn't do, and that's pivot and start moving in a different direction. They're going to have to restart all over again. But that's just me. But if you got something that's intriguing your mind, or something I said, maybe go, hey, you know what? I'd like to share something. And so go for it. If not, that's okay. I'll just keep on going.
No, I'll share something. For a lot of those people out there who's been beat up already, or haven't even taken the chance to even try it, I'm just gonna say this, do it. So for the ones who haven't done it, do it. Take that step. For the ones who've been beat up a little bit, keep pushing forward. Maybe it's that you need a different team behind you to help you. whether it's with negotiations or learning how to talk to them, how to get to title and escrow, and have that all figured out. No matter what it is, let us know what you need help with. Whether it's from the beginning or you're at the end. Even if you're at the end of a deal and you're like, oh man, I don't know this last part though. Like I said, you got to find a buyer, but the buyer's ready, and you don't know what closing company to use and stuff like that. It could be something like that. You know,
Yeah, anything.
don't
Yeah,
get
question.
scared. Yeah, don't get scared. Just like keep pushing forward and stuff. Make the choices that will push you forward to make that an accomplishment. So that means, hey, get on the phone and make phone calls and contact a bunch of title companies and escrow companies and stuff. You have to filter them out. You have to talk to them. You have to build a relationship with them and stuff like that. And if you don't know how to, then we'll help you with doing that. All that type of stuff is kind of hard, and it's like not it's not like script by script so much. You have to be a people person, and if you're not, we can help you become more of a people person to understand. Like, hey, when you call them and stuff, don't there's certain questions to ask them to see
Right.
if they're a good fit, if it's something that works good for us. Or hey, if you don't know how to close the deal and you're trying to have a good time, with this contracts and stuff, and you're right in front of the seller, or you just left the seller's house, and you know you want to have a good outcome of it, but you didn't.
Hmm.
Hey, let us know because we can help you with that. You know, like so it doesn't happen again. I remember, there was times that I went to the seller's house and stuff didn't go exactly how I wanted to do and how I was hoping because I didn't do certain things. I didn't implement certain things. Then we got back in the car and we had a powwow and stuff, and we talked about what transpired and what would have changed if I would have been different.
Right.
And it was a lesson learned and stuff, and just having that guidance and stuff like that, and being able to like hit you up and talk to you about it was awesome back then and stuff. And we've done it for others and stuff. Like even since then,
Right.
we've had other people come on. When I was in NorCal and stuff, we had a whole NorCal office, and that was awesome. Like
Yeah.
people, don't be afraid, don't be scared. Reach out to Eric, reach out to me and stuff like that, and see the growth that you can have. This is 2025. Don't make that New Year's resolution saying that you're going to make a huge change and not freaking do it. That's all the advice I have for you guys. Is like just do it, and do it with somebody that's going to actually be available. I say this because we're available. I worked with Eric and stuff when I first started and stuff. He's the reason why I'm where I'm at today and doing what I'm doing today because of his help. And because of him guiding me and him being able to be there at any time when I need to call him and the rest of the team and stuff, and helping me with marketing and finding buyers and talking to sellers and finding sellers to even be able to talk to, like obviously those are leads and stuff, so all that awesome stuff happened in the mentorship. And then like I said, I've pretty much graduated from that, and I'm still here because it's just continuous growth, this continuous knowledge and learning. Is we're always doing a different type of deal, and it's a an amazing situation that I was able to you know step into. And thank you, Eric. Like I said, man, I always appreciate it that we cross paths and stuff, and nothing ever happens for like no reason. Nothing's by accident. There was
Right.
no coincidence and everything. And like I said, things have changed for me, and things can change for everybody else. I've seen it. We've seen it for other people who's came aboard and stuff, and they've done well, and they're doing really well now, and thought that they had to give up because of all the other programs that they've paid. People paid $20,000, $30,000 before they came aboard with us, and was able to actually lock up a contract and close something, and learn the actual way of how to do a deal. I
Right.
remember those times too. So all that stuff, people. I hope you guys, take it all in, digest it, understand it, and know that at one point I was just where you were at. I was scared, I was worried, I didn't think I should keep going, I wanted to give up. And then I just said, F this. I gotta keep pushing through it, I gotta keep going, and I was just like, hey, praying, 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 I need help, I need just help me.
Yeah.
And it was it was us crossing paths, man, and it helped me and it changed a lot in my life and stuff. That's what I'm saying.
That's
So if
awesome.
people are feeling like
Appreciate
they
it.
need some type of wake up call or a coming to Jesus call, or like they've been praying for this and stuff, and
Right.
they don't know if this is
Turn
it or
that
not.
off.
This is it, man.
Yeah. That's true. No, I appreciate that, man. That's a full-on awesome testimonial right there, a testament to what we do and why we do it, and why you have the longevity because you have the same heart, man. You want to help people and you want to do things for yourself and your family, and you just keep going. And
Yeah,
it is good having someone push you and back and forth, and there's days that you fire me up and I get going, right? So that's what this is all about. But at the same token, man. Um, Proud of you for doing what you're doing and standing strong and going for it and having the balls and to do that, as well as the courage and having the faith, in myself and us and Amp Live and AJ and all this stuff, right? And believing in everything we're doing, man. That's, like I said, it's a testament to what we do and what we're doing now. And it's awesome words, man. It's the truth, and I appreciate that. Those are some kind words and I appreciate it. But that's just thinking about all that, man. It's like it's pretty crazy how you know the stuff we've gone through, right? Because I know that just with what happened in the last 4 years and stuff, man, and the way the market's going and where everything is going, and staying positive and staying strong. That's everybody's trying to do that stuff, or there's some are in better places, right? Some are rocking and rolling, some are not, and I definitely get that. But that's our cause and mission, bro. Like we talked about, and that's why I never dropped the ball on you, never left you alone, or never left you hanging. Always respond back to you. And I know you're the same way, right? Get in touch with people, do what you need to do. And if you say, hey, I'm going to give you a call, then hey, I promise I'm calling you back, and you give them a call. You dealt with the good investors, bad investors, deals, all that good stuff. So, like I said, man, that's stuff that's in your head and what you've learned. No one can take it away. That's your superpower that's been given to you, man. And it's now obviously you run with it, right? That you have, and I know you're learning more as we continue to move forward. The fix, flip, buy, holds, all that good stuff. Um, it's only gonna take, and being the age that you're at, man. So you can keep on rolling with it, man. Even if there's a good, bad, and ugly that happens, because it happens to everybody in life, right? Yeah, but just keep rolling, man. So there's an opportunity for you. Take advantage of it for sure, man. I wish I did get that kind of sorted maybe in my 30s, when I got my mentors and stuff, right? When I found them, they found me, or like you said, right? It wasn't coincidence. It was for a reason, because the momentum was there, and it happened. The connection happened somewhere along the line, man. But no, that's powerful stuff. Definitely connect with us. Scan that QR code right there, the one you can see right in front. That's for the one-on-one mentoring program. Like I said, it's the only program of its kind where we truly, truly mentor you one-on-one. And yes, sometimes I say this and I get gruff from it. Oh no, we can't do that 7 days a week. Look, deals are done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And yes, they're done after what? After banker hours, after 5,
hmm
right? 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. You're talking to sellers sometimes, right? Sometimes you're in a freaking house if you're going belly to belly, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, but and some people go, why would you want to do that? Well, if you're getting a wholesale deal, that's one thing. I get it. Try to lock it up on the phone if you can. But if you're going to go belly to belly and it's a sub-2 deal and you're going to make 30, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 bucks, then the brain, you got to put it in your brain that, hey, it's fucking worth it being here, is it not? You're learning, you're sharpening your skills. You got help. We're going to work a deal. We're going to rock a deal. And then, yeah, there's going to be work to get it all done. But at the end of the day, it's not like, you're going to probably make as much as you would if you're working a regular job for the full year, right? And, even if it's a wholesale deal, depending on where you're at, Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, right? And then you can even break down your hourly rate if you want to. I did that a long time ago. You don't have to do it, but, sometimes you think, how many hours did I spend on this deal? How much did I make? All right, what was my hourly rate? And, and then you can see that sometimes it comes out. Hey, man, I made more than a doctor. I made more than an attorney. Shit, I made more than a doctor, an attorney, and fucking whatever else, a financial analyst does, right? Because it was a
Yeah,
nice, juicy deal. But obviously the goal is to start looking like you're saying, like you're doing now. I think you're in that mode, right? I want to find some multifamily. I want to find some quads, 15 units, 20 units, 40 units, 100 units, right? because you want to get that one roof with many doors instead of the one door and the one roof, right? And a bunch of them. Now, it doesn't matter how you get them. If you can leverage the shit out of all the single family and, multifamily and some quads and some commercial properties and land and all kinds of shit, who gives a shit, right? Because you're leveraging it all out with creative real estate investing. OPM, other people's money, OPE, other people's efforts, right? And obviously that's the jam. That's the goal. Can it be done? Of course, just depends on what your game plan is. Everybody's game plan is a little bit different, right? But we help you with that too, because when someone comes aboard, you know how it goes, man. You get a micro goal list. And hey, we want to see, tell us what you want done. What do you want to do in the first day, first week, second week, third week, first year, second year, third year, 10 years? What are your goals, right? I mean, it's very rare that we get somebody who doesn't have any goals. And I've done maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people say, well, I don't know. What'd you want to be when you grew up? I don't know, nothing really. I just wanted to, finish school and go and get a job. Others are like, well, I wanted, 97%, I should say maybe 99% of the people, right, all had dreams and aspirations of doing something else, right? I'm sure you didn't grow up want to be an electrician. No, I wanted to do this and this and that, right? Oh, I'm sure you didn't want to be an IT person. No, I want to do this and this. And then every once in a while, man, you get somebody, right? No, I never had any goals or dreams. Really? You're bullshitting me. You just don't want to share them with me, right? Now, I'm not trying to say anything. That part's all gone. It's over, right? You're aboard. Let's work together. If you don't want to share intimate stuff, I get it, but you have to put it on, at least put something on that micro go sheet, right? And I want to see, we got to see tangible stuff, because how are we going to build out a game plan and how are we going to build out a target, right? If you don't have a why, you just be going like this, shooting everywhere. Ain't no target, right? So you got to have that target, man. Fill it out, and people are going, oh, okay, well, it's all real estate, real estate, real estate. No, share some intimate stuff with us, right? You want to, open up an orphanage. You want to feed the homeless. You want to build some housing for, whatever, right? Share some of that stuff. I want to have a Porsche. I want to have a freaking, big 4Runner truck, right? I want to travel. Because if you share those things, and those are the things that are going to help you motivate, so now you got some little micro goals you can hit, right? And that's why it's so important. You got to have a target. That's our goal. Have that target, and then we rock and roll. We get in. Everything we do is muscle memory, man. So, and then if you need videos and PDFs, that's just to reiterate what we do. And I know some people think, well, man, it's like old school, new school, man. Some of this shit's old. Well, you know what? Old school and new school put together. That's right, man. Because muscle memory fucking works, right? I think someone said, hey, I told somebody they're down and out and they're all having issues. Oh, man, this happened and this and that. And you can hear it in their voices dragging along and shit. And, this girl and my job and blah, blah, blah. And that's not that they don't make good money. They make good money and shit. But it was like, get the book Think and Grow Rich, man. It'll help you out. Oh, yeah, I got that book. I got the audio version. Okay. What's the difference from YouTube and TikTok, right? Are you going to learn just by watching that shit? It's magically just going to happen? You know how that goes, right, Victor?
Yeah.
You got to grab that book, man. I say, grab the book. Put it in your hands. Smell it. Touch it. Feel it. That's muscle memory, right? And I learned this from, I think it was, I forgot, one of the guru guys. He's passed now. I forgot his name. He wore glasses, blonde hair and shit. I can't remember his name. But I was watching one of his videos, and he was talking about audio. And you listen to the audio like this. You just listen to audio and pods, but your brain's always doing shit at a certain time all the time, right? Habits. So then you're listening at the same time. They'd always miss the juicy part because it was audio, right? But if you're reading a book, you're going to be forced to read it, and you go, fuck, I missed that. Let me read that again. Shit. Sometimes you got to read that shit 2 or 3 times, right? And then you look at it and you're going, okay, I'll come back to that. I get it. Keep on reading. Or some people are just awesome. They just read that shit and they got it, right? Photographic memory, or they're just fucking maybe way smarter than fucking me and all that shit, right? But they'll read the shit. And then I always say, read the book. Oh, I already read it. Well, dust that motherfucker off and read it again. Read it one time, then read it a second time and start highlighting. Read it a third time and start writing in there. Write some commitments that you're going to fucking do these things. And the 4th time, write it and read all that stuff and look at it and go, man, I need to start doing that. And then put it on yourself and then continue to read it and use it as a reference, right? For Think and Grow Rich. And then the 17 Principles of Success, right? Your little Bible, your business Bible, I like to call it. Not to replace your regular Bible. And you hear me say this a lot of times, right? Mm-hmm. But it's true, man. Does it not work? Does muscle memory works, bro? And I think that's the edge we have over others, right? because nobody's gonna spend that time. I mean, I get chewed out for spending too much time with mentees, bro. You know what I mean? Oh, what are you doing spending? So what am I supposed to do? Get the little bell and turn it up 1 hour? I could, but that'd be fucking bullshit, right? Then ding 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 ding. All right, well, hey, you have an awesome day. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Bloop.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up, man. I just don't think that it's what's the word I'm looking for, man? I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. I was gonna say something about intuitive or fucking just that shit just puts a bad taste in my mouth. Like MLM, right? I gotta go, gotta do this, gotta do that, or you're paying for an attorney. We're not a widget. I'm not a widget. You're not a widget, right? We're human beings. We're sharing stuff, and we get a little intimate with stuff and sharing each other's stuff so we can move forward, right? Because we got to trust each other, right? And we do paper up and all that good stuff. It's a total different jam than just coaching or videos and PDFs and Facebook groups, right? So that's something that people just don't do, bro. And unless things change, right? I don't know, but that's just me. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over here to Saturday, which is coming up, right, brother? And I know you got some stuff you're gonna be doing. So if you want to dip in, definitely dip in tomorrow, or not. It's cool.
Yeah.
But Saturday training, I think you're gonna want to make some phone calls tomorrow. So do some phone calls, some NODs, those trust sales, all that shit, right? I know you got some data. You're gonna make a couple of calls and get some submissions and things of that nature. So I know we'll probably do that tomorrow. Come on live, probably around 2 to maybe 2 p.m. Always it's only about 2 p.m. And then maybe 4 to 6 or something like that, or another replay of a video will actually drop. A lot of times that happens. But if you're available, definitely let's rock and roll, man, and do your thing. Because I know you got some shit going on with another business that you have, right? And that's the beauty of real estate too, right? You got to kind of have those multiple streams of income and things of that nature. But I'm excited for 2025. Excited for you and others and all past, present, future mentees of America.
Yes.
I guess I'll keep on. I won't wrap this up pretty soon because I can't even see, man. My eyes, I'm always going like that. Oh, let me see.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Your eyes are working. You're
2025
lucky,
is
right?
exciting, man.
Huh?
I said, yeah, man, 2025 is already starting to be exciting. We have a lot of stuff over here going on with the other company, aside from real estate. Then we got the fix and flip going on and more deals coming down the wire constantly and gonna be doing another one. So it's just 2025 is off to a great start, man.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear, man. And I feel you there. It's about being motivated and fired up and seeing opportunity, man. Because a lot of people like, the doom and gloom, and resetting and resetting. I don't think that there's anything wrong with
Dude,
resetting. Go
there's
ahead.
no gloom, man. There's no gloom over here because you know what we have on the table and you know what's about to be done and finished. And no gloom over here. The only thing is, it's
Yeah.
just cold. It's cold, cold, cold because there's so
Yeah.
much snow.
No, I
But
get it, man. I
God,
wasn't
man,
referring to you. I
man.
was just referring to some of the calls have been talking, like that one guy I
Yeah,
talked to, and doom and gloom and this and that. And then I kind of had to, just be nice and said, hey, this is what I recommend. Grab the book, $7-8, Amazon, man. Go get it. It'll help you. It'll pull you out of the fucking depression and the doom and gloom shit that you got going on, right? And he goes, yeah, I just learned better with, audio, but sometimes I do, forget stuff and this and that. So look, okay, he's like contradicting himself, right? But then after we got off the horn, he's like, man, thank you. You're like I think it's the most positive stuff that I've had in the last year. So what does that say, man? Right? We're doing God's work here, right? We're doing the right thing. We're doing what we need to do for our fellow Americans that are being true to what we say and what we do, right? And I'm big on that, man. And and I share that with you all the time, and vice versa, man. You tell me, hey, man, this roll, rise and shine, rock and roll, right? Hey, I'm doing great today. I'm feeling good, right? And that motivates me too, right? It's all about just motivating each other and keeping each other fired up. I'm going to say right here real quick, VIP Execs Realty and Lending. It's our sponsors, VIP Execs Realty and Lending. Step into excellence. You can hashtag VIP Execs and get some more information. If you're wanting to drop your license and you want the best of both worlds so you can dominate your area and be able to list properties, work with buyers, work with investors, and even maybe take some real estate investing stuff down yourself, then I definitely encourage you, employ you to say, hey, give me that information. I love to speak to your broker and see if we're a good fit. Definitely just reach out and I'll get you that information. Can put it in the DM, direct message, private message. I have a thing here, man. You're a young cat, man. What is it called? Is it a DM or PM?
Both. I mean, it depends. It depends because sometimes people be like, get in my DMs, my direct messages will be
Yeah.
like, for like Instagram and like their like their X or their TikTok or Snap and stuff. But like for like Facebook and other stuff like that, they'll be like my PMs, getting my private messages because it's like direct messaging or private messaging, kind of the same thing.
So I
You
figured,
could
man. So I
use
wasn't
either
sure.
or.
Yeah, because some young buck, I was saying, hey, make sure you just shoot me a PM. PM, what's that? You mean a DM? So yeah, whatever, man. You say tomato, I say potato, whatever the fuck, right? So DM, PM, and stuff, man. So then I started getting used to just saying DM, right? But I've always just said private message. I always figured it was a private message because ain't nobody gonna see it but us. So, right? But it's also a direct message too, man. So I was just curious, man. That was one of my 25 things there. Hey, what is it? You know all these acronyms and all these little things that everything's changing, man. I think it was last week or week before. What's this K-pop shit, right? We were watching the awards or some shit like that, and I go, what's K-pop? I go, fuck, what? People, like young kids, and I guess love that K-pop. And I go, what is K-pop? Well, Korean. It's Korean pop. Oh, that's what the fucking K is for. All right. So they don't have J-pop, C-pop, M-pop, Mexican pop. No. But it was some crazy shit, man. Have you ever seen that stuff?
Yeah, I have the K-pop.
Yep.
It's crazy. My middle daughter was into K-pop for a little bit.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
she grew out of it. I mean, BTS. She was into like BTS and all that type of stuff. We even had to
Okay.
go to San Francisco to
Yeah,
this
yeah.
BTS McDonald's
That's
that
right.
they have out there.
What we saw. It was BTS. That's the band, right?
Yep,
Like
that's
five,
right.
six, 7, 8, young guys all dancing and doing all this shit.
Yeah, it's like 6 to 8 of them. They're fucking all
Right,
over the
yeah.
place.
That
They
was
just
a
started
trip.
coming out like little spawns. They're just out of nowhere.
Yeah, they had some song called Smoothie, or some smoothie shit
Yep,
going on.
that's it. Yep,
Is that the one?
yep.
Yeah, I don't know what we were watching, man, but I think my daughter and Liz were playing it and shit. We go, what is this? And I go, K-pop. But yeah, it's popular, I guess, man. It was a trip, man. What's that? Trends or trends? What's that? Green River, Wyoming. That right. But VIP Execs Realty and Lending Step into Excellence. Definitely, reach out. It's powered by Amp Live Media. If you want to drop your license or maybe even get your license, because we have several people that are doing that and want to take their license and looking for a home. Why not get the best of both worlds, right, brother? I'm going to go ahead. We're already into about an hour and 37 minutes. Like last time we did a whole enchilada of 100. What was it, 100? An hour and 50 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Sweet, chop it all up. So I know you got some of those videos with you chatting in there. Definitely put them to use and share them with your fellow Americans and stuff, man. But tomorrow, what's your schedule? What time's your thing you got going on? Your event?
My event. Let me double check really quick.
All right. And if you want to go ahead and share your handle and share what you do, I know you got a comic book business, and I know you do clothing and shoes, and you got some what else? Collectibles and stuff, right? So share that with us, and then also tell us what you got going on tomorrow. It's kind of interesting, if you want.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm back. I just had to check out the schedule and stuff, and kind of when I back out from the app, it puts it like on a mute.
Okay.
But I'm still here. So, yeah, my handle on Instagram for real estate is Victorious Real Solutions. Make sure to go follow that. It's one word, Victorious Real Solutions. That's my real estate page, and then for my comics and
Yeah.
collectibles, I do have another page called Victorious
Mm-hmm.
Comics. You can find me at victorious.comics on Instagram. Type in Victorious Comics on Facebook, Victorious Comics on Google. It'll show up our eBay, our website, all of our information, our social accounts. our upcoming exclusives and shows that we have. Like we have a MegaCon exclusive for Orlando, Florida coming up. It's
Yeah.
going to be at the beginning of February,
Okay.
and it is a tribute book to Tupac Shakur, right? And
Oh
it's a
yeah.
story about a biography about him and stuff. It's just like the Prince one that I did and the Bruce Lee one that we did for New York Comic Con last
Oh,
year.
cool. Awesome.
So yeah, it's a story about him and everything, and it's awesome. It's super limited. This one is even more limited now than the last one. It's even lower print numbers and lower print count. So we printed less books, and then we decided to do a Keanu Reeves fame, like rise to fame book and stuff like that. How he started young and how he become
Yeah.
famous and everything. And
Oh, cool.
that cover right there, the
Yeah.
reveal, everybody was. I mean, for all of the covers, everybody's been going crazy for them. Pre-sale starts in a few hours on
Oh
my
wow.
website and on eBay
Oh
and on
yeah.
all other platforms. Yes, on Whatnot. You can find me on Whatnot. It's a platform that sells comics, collectibles, jewelry, Funko Pops, used clothing, new clothing, electronics, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an awesome platform. You can find me on there as well as Victorious Comics.
Yeah.
Um, but tomorrow we have a train. It's called the $2 Holler Train. Now, that is because we're gonna start every item that's gonna be in everybody's show at $2. So that's the auction starting point is gonna be $2. So people can come in and get super deals and steals on some awesome items and stuff at the beginning of this year. Now, we're hooking them up, welcome them into the new year with a bunch of deals and steals on very expensive items that we're going to start at $2 so they can ballot it out and get a good deal on it. So to the victor wins the spoils on the train tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. It's always a cool thing. And we go through about 30 sellers tomorrow. So there'll be 30 different shows going on tomorrow. And they go from one to another to another to another. But you start on one show and we'll just take you for the ride along to everywhere else. You don't even have to do nothing. Just sit there, relax, buy us some items if you want, buy some items from us if you want, or just get in on the free items that we give away because we do giveaways. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I do custom clothing and shoes and stuff as well. But yeah, Eric, I mean, I can go on and on and on about
I
everything we
gotcha.
got going on, man. I could go on
Oh,
and
that's
on and
cool.
on. Like, the property out here is becoming amazing. It's so beautiful. I mean, we're putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, man. And I appreciate you so much for being with me on this journey and just coaching me and guiding me. And like I said, man, like we've done so many other deals and been through so much other stuff, but never this stepping into this territory together. You have before. We know you have. But you teaming up and helping me out and guiding me and stuff is just like now we just opened up a whole new can of worms, man. And I greatly appreciate everything. Like I said,
Yeah, for
it's
sure. Of
awesome.
course,
It's
man.
awesome working with AHA and being a part of the team. And like I said, I've been here for a long time, man. I ain't going anywhere. I know you know,
Yep.
I've been
Yeah. No.
around for a minute.
No, yeah, you keep on rocking and rolling, brother. That's what it's all about, man. And I do appreciate you as well, and for coming on here and sharing, because I know you don't have to, and you got other things you could be doing. So I do appreciate coming on here and sharing your story and sharing some advice and things you've been through. And we appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, reach out to Victor if you have any questions, whether it's through real estate or any of the other stuff he's doing with the comic book stuff, because I know collectibles is a big business. A lot of collectors out there, especially in the comic book stuff, right? I've seen some of the work; it looks good. I saw the Keanu Reeves one; that's pretty cool. That was awesome. And I do have the Bruce Lee one that you have, and then I got the was it Prince? That's right, man. The only reason I got Prince, man, I know he's an awesome artist. Not quite my jam, but I do love his music and just his artistry and what he does. But I got
Yeah.
turned on to him through my father watching, I think it was American Bandstand. Yeah, I'm kind of like, putting, what do you call it, my age out there, right? And he said, son, come out here, man. You need to check this out. And I came out here and I go, what the hell are we watching? What is that, right? And and that's Prince doing 1999, right? Party Till or whatever it was, that song. Um, and he's like, man, that guy is going to be fucking huge because nobody really knew about him or what he was about. But it was pretty cool, man. I think that was always a cool story for me, anyway. That's something I just remember from my father. And then he pegged him, right? He just knew, man. He goes, man, that fucker's gonna blow the fuck up, and he did, man. He just like blew up, and all the movies and shit came out and everything else. But it's pretty awesome. And I guess comic books memorialize all that shit, right? Comic books are hot, man, right? Or they were. I'm not saying they're not now. I'm just saying, like, when they come out with all Iron Man, the Hulk, and all that bullshit. Because I know I had comic books growing up when I was younger, but I didn't know what I had. If you know what I'm saying, right? I would have kept them motherfuckers, man. Damn, fuck, I'd have all kinds of shit. Cause I had
I'd be at your house. I'd be at your house, dude. If you had anything collectible like that, toys, cards, anything, I'd already be over there. Like, dude, let's get rid of this. Let's sell it.
No, we had them in the garage. It had like boxes and boxes of them, man. My uncle brought them back. He goes, "Hey, you might want to check this out, and maybe fun to read or whatever." And then my granny, I think she had like a yard sale or some shit and sold them all, man. I don't have one comic book from all that shit. So,
damn.
Right? So then after that I found music, man. So got into that shit, and that's been my jam. I always say, if you're a young cat and you're young, find something that you have passion, find something that's going to build character. Go play some football, go play some basketball, go do some music, go do something, go act or some shit, right? Because all that stuff builds character. And it's what you need, I think, in today's world to be able to kick some ass and sustain and to thrive and live in this world, right? Because the world's not a nice place. But at the same token, here we go. We go in cycles, man. Find a mentor. It's so different. Find somebody who can keep you going and keep you rocking and rolling. Once again, give us our handles real quick, man. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And then I'm going to post a couple things here real quick and just introduce Liz just on a picture like this one here. And then myself, we'll wrap it up, man. Any questions or anything you think of? Anything we need to share?
No. I'm good.
Cool.
All I could say is this to the viewers and the listeners. You'll hear me say it again. Take action. Take charge of your life. You have to do it. Don't give up. And look for a solid mentor and team that's going to be there. Like Eric will be there. I'll be there. Liz will be there. The team in the background will always be there. We'll help you. Eric has me come in for like some of the 30-day training and stuff. We're helping people during the first 30 days, and training them with that, helping surf for deals. If you ever need any help or anything, reach out, let us know, see if we're a good fit, So take action, take charge, and see if, you're a good fit to come aboard. And, yeah, make sure to check me out, y'all. I mean, I got a bunch of awesome stuff. I got toys, Funkos, which is Funko Pops. I have collectibles, jewelry, like antique stuff, some modern. I have vintage clothing, but majority of the stuff that I have is just comics and toys and collectibles. So I have Victorious Comics on all platforms. You can look me up on TikTok. It'll be Victorious Comics. You can look me up on X, Victorious Comics, Instagram, Victorious.comics, whatnot, Facebook, Victorious Comics. It's just all over. The brand is growing. It's just a brand, Victorious Comics. You'll see it everywhere. You'll see it at New York Comic Con, the glowing sign. It's gonna be awesome. Like I said, I have 2 books that's dropping for that one. They're super, super exclusive, man. Like, oh, if you're interested in them, let me know ahead of time because I already have pre-orders, that I've been checking. I was like, holy moly. Pre-orders on the Tupac are going crazy. And then the Keanu Reeves, people are starting to see that the Keanu's are coming out and everything. And those ones are starting to get grabbed up. I was like, nice. But I remember, I always got to save some for the show.
I
When
got
I'm
you.
at
Awesome, man. No, that's cool that you're sharing that because obviously, real estate will help you when you get that money and do certain things and keep you and then get you fired up for other businesses that are your passion. Because I know that you've been doing that, and I think you were doing that stuff before you even did real estate. So it's more of like a passion thing, and knowing that, hey, I like the collectibles, you like making the shoes and jackets and stuff, right? That's just part of probably your personality, from what I've knowing from you, man, right? Which is
Yeah.
cool. And I know the music and all that other good stuff, and you've done stuff incorporating those things, and so that comes like comes through as a place of love and passion. So that's awesome, man. And you're allowed to do that, and you learn that stuff. And I know I don't want to say I take credit for that, right, or anything, because you were doing that stuff before. But it does help when you have real estate and you come in, and you see things in a different light, and you got some almost like some life coaching, right, along with some real estate coaching and mentoring, and then being inspired to go, man, fuck, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do this, right? And you've done it, and you made some waves in the comic book or that type of, I guess, arena, right, from what I'm hearing, and building out your whatnot, and and people knowing you, and even people trying to fucking squash you and get you off of the platform and all kinds of shit. Because that's where jealousy shit comes in, right? So that means you're making enemies and you're doing something right, right? So that's a good thing, man. Now we take that back into what, right? Real estate, brother, right? So and you just use them as fuel, man. So congratulations on getting that stuff done and moving forward with that. And even staying and sticking with it in real estate, right? Because obviously it is a passion of yours, and I know you want to conquer it, and I know you got a lot of things that you want to accomplish in the years to come, man. So looking forward to it. Appreciate you. I know that and thank you for taking the time. It's a nice juicy long one, but it's all good. We'll definitely,
man.
yeah, for sure. There's always live and uncut. But I know that Sweden probably when he comes back Sunday is going to chop it up, monetize it, since we're doing that stuff now, and it just has to be done. But I do like to leave them live and uncut. People can watch them, look for the golden nuggets, look for the pro tips, right? Look for the things that are real, and look for the things that you can use in this business, right? And even if it intrigues you to go, what the hell is that? What's sub 2? What is foreclosures, probates? I mean, how do you do that? I mean, even the comic book stuff, it doesn't matter, right? It means you'll find the messages and see the messages here if you're on a journey, right? It's just a matter of being able to open up your eyes and recognizing what's there. So once again, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and share this one more time with VIP Execs Realty and Lending, our sponsors. As Miss Elizabeth, your key to home ownership. You can scan that QR code right there. That's our broker for VIP Execs Realty and Lending. Definitely reach out, see if we're a good fit. Going to get your license, or you already have your license and you want the best of both worlds, then definitely I'll put you in contact with her. I believe down below is VIP Execs Realty and Lending, our sponsor. Step into excellence. We got one more here with my mug, of course, and Miss Elizabeth here, where we will take down properties. So you're getting the best of both worlds here, right? And the brands, VIP Execs Realty and Lending. You're going to get AMP Live, the American Mentee Program. We're going to get AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track. Together with you, Victor, and others across the United States of America, because that's our cause and mission, our true cause and mission that comes from the heart. And you'll see that when you come and work with us, or you come aboard and work with us, that there's no bullshit involved, right? There's no drama. Sometimes it happens, right? But at the end of the day, you'll feel the heart, and it comes from the gut, and the love comes where it needs to be. And that's the way I think it should be. Scan that QR code right there for a 30 days challenge, but there's also the one-on-one mentoring program. So scan that. Definitely reach out. I'm going to pull this back up here for our Friday highlights and end it out. You can scan that QR code right there to book some time with myself. And then I know even then later on, we'll probably get you a QR code too, brother, as you get more involved. And you can scan some time and, chit chat with Victor. And if you want to come aboard, then you know what to do. Victor knows what to do. With the one-on-one mentoring, I was going to probably say something, but I won't say it on this one. Maybe I'll do it on Saturday. But I want to chat with Erick, also chat with you and others. Say, hey, look, should we do this or not do it? Because it's going to be something we've never, ever done before. And, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, or even sure if we want to take that on at the end of the day. But I'll just leave it at that. Rock and roll in all that you do. Keep on rocking and rolling. As I always say, made in America, right? Bring that shit home. Let's do it. 2025 is going to be an awesome year. And once again, thank you very much. Be safe out there in the snow.
I will.
I know you got any black ice.
Yeah, there's been some here and there and stuff. Yeah, we got to be careful.
It's dangerous and crazy.
Yeah.
So be careful with that. And definitely we'll see you tomorrow. What time? I didn't get that. What time was your show for the train?
So the train show is around 7 my time.
7 your time. Okay. That's Central time?
Yeah.
Central Mountain or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like 5 p.m. Cali time, right?
Right.
7 p.m. Midwest time. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get involved in that, see what that's all about, man. Definitely. This video is probably going to play on several of the Facebook platforms. I know it's on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X and other places, and Instagram. I mean, I don't have your handles. Probably need to get that next time, right? You send me over your handles and shit, and I'll put them in the chat so they'll be there so people can get in touch with you and go check that shit out.
Yep. Sounds good.
Cool. All right, man. Well, rock and roll. We'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to you maybe tomorrow or the next day. I will be back for Saturday training, the Sunday sermon, rants and raves, Mindset Money Monday, Wellness Wednesday, and then back to what we are doing right now, right? And that's Friday highlights and just having the pulse of real estate, talking about real estate. If you want my Erick report, definitely type some stuff in there. You may or may not remember. But the Erick report is just about the cycles and trends and what I think and when I think the market is going to do its thing. So you can jump on those opportunities, become the expert at what you do, love what you do, continue to dream, continue to keep on rocking and rolling. As Victor says, keep on moving, keep on going, never, ever, ever stop. Rock and roll. Talk to you soon, okay?
All right, man. Thanks, Erick.
Everybody, thank you.
I hope to hear from everybody soon. I hope there's some people that come aboard and make some action happen in their lives. Peace out,
Awesome, brother.
everybody.
Thank you.